Welcome, Valpo fans, to another edition of the Valpo Coaches Show brought to you by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. I'm Aaron Levitt. Joining me today is volleyball head coach Karen Avery. Coach Avery, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Your regular season just came to an end this week. You're preparing for the conference tournament. Let's talk about the last couple of weeks since the last time we chatted. It's been kind of a up and down last few weekends of the season for your squad. What have you seen that's worked well in that time, and where have you kind of struggled that have kind of maybe caused some of the losses in the last few weeks?
Yeah, I talked about it the last time that I did the Zoom that the volleyball league in the Missouri Valley is no joke. And it's a grind day in and day out. And if you don't show up on that particular day, no matter if you're playing the first team or the last, you're going to get beat. We definitely had our shares of ups and downs, 9-9 record, obviously not exactly what we wanted, but at the same time, it put us in a position to get into the conference tournament, which is your number one goal, after preseason is over, is to get into that conference tournament. Our ups and downs were definitely a consistency factor for us. And it was kind of set by set, day by day, weekend by weekend. That's, I really truly believe, why we had so many up and downs, and it was player to player. Sometimes we would have, a hitter hit a 500 one night and the next night would hit a negative 500. And then the next night, then somebody else would step up and hit a 500. And the next night they would hit a negative. So there was so much inconsistency in our play in league play for whatever reason that we really kind of struggled, I believe, to get in a really good, solid rhythm. Like I said, not only, game to game, but like set per set for us. So, but the good news is, the last 4 or 5 weeks, we were able to split, ever since our Drake, you and I are after playing the top 2 teams on the road in our league, we were at least able to split every weekend, which, allowed us to get that 6th spot into the conference tournament.
You look at those ups and downs, and kind of the last match of the regular season against UIC kind of epitomized that. In the first couple sets against UIC, they pretty much had your number, and then the last 2 sets, it really felt more like Valpo volleyball. Do you kind of take that and kind of take momentum from that going into the conference tournament, knowing you just played a tough opponent really, really well in the last 2 sets here to close out the regular season?
100%. I think that was actually our main goal going into this week, our week of practice and this UIC game that really didn't, matter position wise for us at all going into the league. Let's just play hard, see what we can do, focus on our side of the net, focus on the things we need to work on. And again, it took us a couple of sets to kind of find our pace and find our rhythm, but we were able to. But again, that leads back into our issues in conference play. We have waited way too long to make those adjustments that we need to make. We've waited too long to get those, a big kill, big block, a great service run by us. And then eventually it's sometimes too late. And that's something we definitely need to work on going into this conference play. But everybody's 0-0 now. It doesn't matter what you finished, you're in the tournament, it's a blank slate. So very excited to see what this group is going to do in this third part of our season.
I want to highlight a couple players who are going to be in the running for all conference honors. First, the junior middle hitter, Mallory Januski. I mean, you talk about someone, and you mentioned it last time, bided her time, sat behind a pair of all conference middles her first 2 years, and just the breakout year she's had this year. She's almost assuredly going to set the program record for hitting percentage. She's in the top 5 in the conference in blocks. Just what is it about her that's made her such a big presence in the middle for you guys this year?
Well, I said it already. I mean, she was a great player. We got a great player as a freshman. But unfortunately for her, we had 2 all-conference middles. But fortunately for her, we had 2 all-conference middles that she got to play, behind. So, you can imagine, like, day in and day out. I think I mentioned this last time in practice. She was grinding against 2 really, really good middles, and learning from 2 really good middles on our team. So that was valuable practice time for her these last 2 years. And again, I think I've told everybody, when she gets her time, she's going to be very good, and she has not disappointed. She thankfully for us has kind of been the one player that's been a little more on the reliable side for us. She's been pretty consistent in terms of her hitting and her blocking. And, we're really lucky that we have that one, another constant for us that's been really showing up game to game and set to set this year.
And then freshman libero Emma Hickey. You talk about, all the numbers Diggs liberos have put up here over the years. Emma just this week broke both our freshman record and the Valley's freshman record for Diggs in a season, both of which were held by Riley Cookerly. Hickey surpassing that record against UIC on Wednesday. She's near the top of the nation in Diggs per set. She's, going to have one of the most prolific dig totals by an NCAA D1 freshman in the last 12 years. We've known ever since from her first match, she's been putting up the dig totals. From your standpoint, how has she grown over the course of the season?
Yeah, again, right? Every year that we lose a libero, we always, I think everybody, not just us, but our fans and our administration say, wow, how are you really going to replace that libero? And we did again. So very proud of that. That's definitely obviously something that, we take as a coaching staff very much, we take pride in having a great libero that will help us lead. And, we're so excited that she's had the numbers she has. She's a great competitor, very quiet. If you look at her on the court, very quiet, very non-emotional, very competitive, very inner drive competitiveness she has. She wants to be the best. She wants to be the best that she can be. Obviously there are things, many things also that she needs to improve on in the next 3 years. And so we're actually very excited to still be able to have her for 3 years. And once, we work on her, some serving and passing with her, I can't even imagine how great she is going to be.
You mentioned it's time to move on to the third season now, the conference tournament. You'll start out play there 6 p.m. Sunday evening against Murray State. Just what is it going to take for the team to be successful, not only in the tournament opener against the Racers, but moving forward in the tournament?
For us, it's going to be consistency. We have talked about that. We need to be able to stop, not only knowing what the other team's going to do, but be able to execute. I think consistency, execution. I also think that, we need to really try to take care of games as quickly as possible if we want a chance to win a championship. No joke, trying to play 4 games in one weekend to win a championship is going to be really hard. It's going to take a lot of, not only physical toughness, but mental toughness. Obviously it's one game at a time. We're very excited to play Murray State. It was really a great match just a couple weeks ago at their place that we had against them. And, but it also was, we left, with a loss, and, we went 5, we clawed our way back and didn't, execute at the end. So I know that I am very excited to play them again, just having the result we had a couple weeks ago. So I think it's a good draw for us, and we're very excited to be going to Evansville. And again, I know for me personally, it's the 21st year. We're 21 for 21 years that we've been able to make the conference tournament. I think that's an amazing stat. Super proud of it. And so we're just happy to be at the tournament again.
As I said, the tournament opens Murray State 6 p.m. on Sunday. With a win, UIC in the quarterfinal 6 p.m. on Monday. Semifinal would be against Drake at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, and then the title match on Wednesday afternoon at 4 p.m. All of those can be seen live on ESPN+. Coach Avery, thanks for joining me today. Good luck down at the tournament.
Thank you.
This has been the Valpo Coaches Show, brought to you by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute.